Okay, so I think it's working now. Indeed, and greetings unto you, beloved and holy friends. Thank you so much for joining me again today on another cloudy day. And yet so beautiful. I'm feeling a little bit lower in energy today than I did yesterday, but I'm still feeling absolutely fantastic. I started up a stream before this one on the U show, and then it did not work. But before I started the stream on the U show, I was looking at Haywire Hill as a subreddit, and I was like, do I want to stream on Haywire Hill? And I was like, I think Gob might still be streaming his doggy stream, so I was like, nah, not gonna do that. And then the the U show one didn't work, so I was like, okay, universe, okay, I concede. I guess I'll listen to my first instinct, and here we are, friends. Thank you so much for joining me. Oh, already so many friends here. Kira, thank you for joining us. The sky is always blue, above the clouds. Yater, dude, you just had to come in and just give me something to think about. What a beautiful thing to say. The sky is always blue, above the clouds. Man, I love that so much, dude. I love you. Thank you for joining me as well, Yater. Kira, you, Aunt B, thank you for the lovely message, my friend. Good evening to you. Well, good morning technically to you. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for the wholesome. I appreciate that. We're still here. Yeah, I was about to say Angela. Thank you as well for the silver. Kira, for the wholesome. Cable, it's nice to have you here as well again, man. So glad you're on the hill today. I'm also happy. I felt like the universe was like, hey, bro, you tried yesterday. It didn't work. How about you try again? And I was like, nah, I'm gonna see if one of the other one's gonna work. And then the universe was like, nah, bro, I spoke. Come on, get it done. And I was like, okay, I can see it. I'll do it, I guess. So I have a bunch of other things worth saying written down, but I don't want to start reading from the top, if you will. Hertz, it's good to have you here again, Fred. Good day to you. Thank you for joining us. That is so gorgeous. Right, Kira? It's beautiful. And yet it's so simple and makes perfect sense as well. Ventique Bug, it's been forever, my friend. Good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining me. The Melt Fam, A to you. Thank you for the helpful. I appreciate that, Ventique. It's been a while. It has been a while, Cable. It's been going on 3 weeks, dude. Yassi. I know you've been, sharing love out there in the world. So you're saying get very high. Hertz, I would actually say the opposite, dude. I am on, oh goodness, I forgot again. I'm on day 4 of Sober October right now. So I'm feeling high in reverse, if that makes sense. Oh, that's unfortunate. Oopsie. Okay, I did not mean to do that. It literally came off like a blade of grass from the ground. Okay, the things I want to say that I believe are worth saying are the following. And I want to read a bunch of them. Maybe 3 of them. So the first one, or at least the first one I want to read is, forget yourself for a moment. That is, forget your embodied existence and remember the transcendence of your awareness. Okay, so that's kind of where this lesson started off of. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm feeling it. Okay, let's forget the self and remember the awareness. And then the next thing we're saying was, we incarnate because we feel there is something left undone. What are you here to do? So if you think of, or at least with the way we talk and the understanding we try to practice, is the fact that we are all these divine beings experiencing embodied, literally in a body existence. And then it goes, we incarnate, we enter these bodies because we feel there is something left undone. So what are you here to do? And I was like, oh shit, please, it's too much. And then the next one, it goes, some of you have incarnated because you felt compassion. That is, you looked upon this 3-dimensional word world and saw its suffering. So you yearned to bring light to this dimension. Like, I feel like I just had this rush of coldness going over me as well, and some goosebumps. Like this. And then Aiden sends a link to a song. And it basically, goes into singing about how the ego, the obsession with the embodied existence, has caused so much suffering on this planet. And the funny part about it is the fact that even as, this spiritual being embodying this current existence, we become completely enthralled with it again. We can become obsessed with our egos as well in the exact same way, and we can contribute to the pain again unless we remember why we're here. Why are we here? I want to read this one once more. Some of you, and I would say every single one of you, have incarnated because you felt compassion. That is, you looked upon this three-dimensional world and saw its suffering. So you yearned to bring light to this dimension. Friends, thank you. Thank you for bringing light with me. Thank you for incarnating with me, if you will, for being on this planet with me in the time that we are, for being so willing, for being so open to listening, for being so understanding, for being you. We're here for a reason, friends. We're definitely here for a reason. And I've been searching for that reason so long. And I feel like I genuinely have finally found it. I ask myself the question sometimes, why am I here? Like it's so difficult sometimes to look at this pain, to experience these things, having gone through bouts of depression and going as far as to attempt to take my own life. That question of why am I here can be so devastating sometimes. The answer of we're here to bring light, it brings light to my heart. And I had to share it with you, friends. Thank you for joining me. The energy here immediately is amazing. I love you so much, Kira. I appreciate you thinking and feeling that. I'm feeling a little bit more tired today than I did the previous few days. Day 4 of the fast is when you're like officially switching over to burning ketones properly. And it can be a little bit difficult. But I've been feeling good. I've been making sure I take my salt. Been making sure I drink my multivitamins. And I'm feeling good. I'm feeling really, really good, especially being here with you friends right now. Oh, he's actually doing Sober October. Cable knows, he's right. Christabel, thank you for joining us, my friend. How late is it right now? Now I'm curious. It's probably like 1 a.m., right? And where do you live, Christabel? Like, I wanted to ask yesterday, but I wanted to say that you need to go to sleep because it's almost 3 a.m. So do you live in Australia or New Zealand, or do you live like, in one of the Asian countries? I would love to know. You don't have to tell me, of course, but if you're willing to, I would love to know. Cody says, good morning, friends. Back to work on a Monday. Glad I can still be here with you, friends. So grateful to have you as well, Cody. Thank you so much for joining us, my friend. Hurt says, Kev, that's great. Even better. I've been aloof lately. Me too, Hurts. At least, before I took this, this Sober October, October, as our friend Kira has dubbed it. I absolutely love that. And I wouldn't say I felt a little bit of aloof, but it is kind of, on the nail as well. I felt like I wasn't capable to focus my energy as well. Maybe that would be what I would say. Maybe that is what aloof means. But it literally felt like I had this intention to focus my energy in certain directions, and then I just couldn't, or I didn't want to, or I felt unmotivated to, or I felt I didn't have the energy to. And I wouldn't necessarily say it's just the weed on its own that did that. I think it's just the the act of getting into, a certain mindset or a certain loop of doing the same thing over and over and over and over again today. And then that kind of, saps the motivation, saps your excitement to do things. And like upon feeling that, like energy, that feeling, I was like, yeah, I think it's gonna be time for me to take a break, for me to, reintroduce the novelty, for me to kind of feel, the other, to perceive the world as it is instead of how I perceive it to be. Good morning, Toasty Malosty, dude. It's so nice to have you here, my brother. How are you feeling, dude? I'm sending you all of the good vibes. Glad you're here with us. Say, Christopher. I'm glad you're here with us, my friend. Thank you for the heartwarming. Getting time for a new book. Okay. Yater, are you saying you're getting time for a new book? What book do you want to read? High on Life. I'm genuinely feeling like that. Like I sent this message to Toasty, I believe. Yeah, it was Toasty. Upon him posting like this, I think it's like a microwave cookie. I'm not sure if it's exactly that, but that's the feeling I had towards it. And he's like, oh, this is a cannabis, microwave cookie, if you will. And you add a scoop of ice cream above that, and then you can like eat it with a spoon. And I was like, bruh, Toasty, dude. I'm like literally taking a break from, sugar, obviously, eating, obviously, and cannabis. And you're like, oh, look at this, Melt. Doesn't this look appetizing? I'm like, yeah, dude, of course. It does look appetizing. But I can't. Cassie Dude says, where is this accent from? It's from planet Earth, friend. More specifically, South Africa. Thank you for joining us. It's so nice to have you. Infamous One, thank you for joining us. She says, listen to the mustn'ts, child. Listen to the don'ts. Listen to the shouldn'ts, the impossibles, the won'ts. Listen to the never haves. Then listen close to me. Anything can happen, child. Anything can be. Thank you, Infamous One, for the goosebumps, for the absolutely amazing thing worth saying, if you will. Listen to them, Just listen to them. Don't accept them. Don't take them into your beingness. Don't make it a part of your reality. Just listen. Be like, I mustn't. Oh, interesting. Oh, I can't. Cool. Oh, I shouldn't. Nice. Oh, it's impossible, is it? Okay. Oh, I won't, will I? Okay, that's good then. Nice. Anything can happen, child. Anything can be. Infamous One, thank you for coming in strong. I love you so much, my friend. South Africa, I love it too. Oh, I knew it. My husband too. Well, Cassie, dude, then you should have had it like on the nail right off the bat. Thank you for joining us, though. Thank you for the hugs, Infamous One. Big question here. What am I here to do? You're here to spread light, Kira. And I can, unequivocally, without a doubt in my mind, say that you've been doing that. I've seen it over and over and over again, and I appreciate it so much. Get it! Sneak attack, God. It makes me so happy. I believe I'm here to serve others and bring them comfort in whatever way I can, and hopefully just help other humans not feel alone. Yes, that's very important to me. Like if you want to take a reductionist approach, you could say that big message is you sharing light, being there for others, trying to, in any way you can, alleviate some of their suffering, making people feel less alone. That is sharing light 101, my friend. Thank you, Kira. Thank you so much for continually sharing love. New Fab, thank you for your compliment, my friend. It grows this way out of my head. Figures. Thank you for joining us, dude. How are you doing? So beautiful, right? It's Kira. It's just a beautiful being. Personally, I believe we are the physical incarnation of a greater being. So we may know what feelings are and know what existing is. I think so as well. But I think there is more reason to just do that. Like, I genuinely believe, like it's so, okay, this is hard to articulate, but if it all is, encapsulated in the divine mind, because I believe the same thing, Candace, all is captured within divine mind. And then you can kind of squeeze this down into the shape of an eye, right? And then on this side of the eye is complete darkness, or complete separation, complete desolation. And on this side is complete oneness, complete, unity, complete all-knowingness. And then within this spectrum falls every single conceivable universe. Every single conceivable reality, every conceivable dimension is captured within this eye shape. And then as it progresses, as divine mind progresses through this whole thing, there is parts of it that comes from desolation, comes from darkness, and moves through the realms, including this three-dimensional realm, towards the unity again, right? And I believe because this potential for it to come from darkness, moving through this realm to reach that oneness, there is the potential for some of that darkness to come with the beingness, right? It's the same being. It's the same being in different, or experiencing different levels of that entirety. And then as this being moves through, it can, better itself constantly until it reaches this point of perfect enlightenment, and then this moves over, and then a new eye starts. You can think of it as two sine waves as well, going constantly. And it's this moving into, the awakening again. But I don't believe it has to be perfectly linear. I believe you can come from the singularity and move back into the complete desolation if you chose to, if you felt there was enough suffering that you wanted to incarnate into that dimension, into that reality, so that you can bring light. And I believe that's exactly why we're here. Like I don't think I am any more special than anyone else, but I can with some certainty say that we as a group of friends are more aligned than less aligned. And to me, that just, points to divinity. It points to from like enlightenment coming down to what it is we're doing right now. And it's absolutely beautiful, and it's an amazing honor. Hello, friends, I'm here. I got distracted, lol. I don't know if you heard what I said, but I think I've said the thing I wanted to say about the, the Tool song you sent as well, dude. Whew, man, it's a little bit heavy, but it does make me happy. You bring me comfort, Kira. You're already succeeding. There you go, Kira. I mean, if enough people tell you, maybe you'll believe it. But some of us were incarnated to wreak havoc. So yes, unfortunately, and I believe that incarnation, again, is coming from desolation, coming from darkness, being incarnated into this reality, and only knowing that, not having had the experience of what light is. And as a result of that, only bringing darkness because that is what you have as base, if you will. That's where you originated from originally. And now, finding yourself in this reality, you become completely enthralled with your mind, body, ego. And as a result of that, you throw everything else to the wayside. But what I believe as well, through this process of awakening, if you're not willing to change your ways, if you're not willing to live in alignment with light in a way that you're going to reach that light, you're going to continue walking towards the darkness. So you're going to be looping over and over and over and over and over again until you click. Until you click that, that you have to change something about yourself. Not even about your mind, body. It's a changing of the self where you choose. Hallo jij? Hallo my Eva. Hallo, yo, you can come sit. I'll show my leaf. My hands are a little bit cold, I'm sorry. But I have this blankie for you. You want a blankie? You want a blankie, Eva? Okay. I'll cover you in a blankie, so whoops. There you go. There you go, Shababarki. There you go. This is gonna be extremely hot, but I have a baby on my lap now. Oh, it's your evil donkey, so whoops. Whew. So yeah, I mean, some of us, I don't think we're incarnated to wreak havoc, like as a purpose. I think it is something that almost comes as default. You know, chaos is very much a part of this reality, and you can align yourself with chaos, or you can align yourself with the infinitesimally small specks of light within that chaos. You're so beautiful. Thank you so much, my friend, for sharing so much love, Kira, constantly. Her foot is kind of digging into my thigh. And I'm not crying, you're crying. Cody, cry away, friend. Feel the love. No, I know. I hope at least those are happy tears, my friend. You bring it to me. Melt out here to hit my feels. Hit those feels, dude. Feel it, man. Feel it. Because I know, you know, in some way, like on an instinctual level, that this is something we feel as a collective. So many of us feel so confused about what the fuck is going on, you know, why we're here, what it is we're supposed to do. And it's like we just fall into this world, you know. And then as soon as we fall into this world, we have these beings we call our parents, you know, projecting the things they've known, the things they've learned onto us. And then as soon as they've gotten their fill of projecting onto us, then they put us in a school system, and then we get a bunch of other people projecting onto us, and then they're like, oh, you have to go to college, project. Oh, then you go to college, and then you find yourself in a new environment in which people are just going to project onto you. And like, I don't blame anyone, like not even for a second, for getting caught in that, because it's what's gonna happen. It's the inevitable. It's the easiest way. It's the path of least resistance, almost, to just kind of accept what we're told. Again, coming back to the understanding that as a child, if you don't listen to your parents, don't listen to your mom when she tells you that, you know, a hot stove top is gonna burn you if you touch it, and you touch it and burns you, you're gonna believe the same thing if your mother tells you that this God is the only God, or, you know, this is the only life path, this is the only way that you can live, this is the only mission that you can pursue. And it's so unfortunate, because that's the exact same thing that happened to our parents. And it's this perpetual loop of non-awakening. And I genuinely believe that for the first time in a long time, we're at that, you know, tipping point where we're no longer going to stay asleep. You are loved, Bucket. You. Thank you, friend. Thank you for sharing, Estienne. We are here to share our love and light with each other and the world. Absolutely, Yader. I appreciate it so much that is what we're doing, friend. You are aligned. Hertz says deep. I need to join you guys and girls more often. Yeah, Hertz, we would love to have you more often, my friend. Every single time we show up here, I genuinely feel myself healing, myself growing, considering new things, especially with your friends' interaction and contribution, co-creation. Ceaseless growth. Aangename kennis. I'm glad I tuned in today. Aangename kennis, friend. Thank you for joining us as well, dude. Well, I mean, your username is dude, but I know you're a female. Cassie, dude. I'll call you Cassie instead. Thank you, Cassie. It's so nice to have you here, friend. The struggle when the robot bot realizes it was made to make butter. If the bot cannot escape the butter, we must then melt in it. Yeah. What a beautiful thing to say, Toasty. Like, I kind of for a second went to I wouldn't say dark place, but like a place, you know, as I was reading your comment about the, you know, good old, what is my purpose? You pass butter. Oh my gosh. You know, and I was like, yeah, I feel that, dude. What is my purpose? You share light. Okay. I accept. I accept. This is the way. Yes, it is. We love you so much, Estian. Just want to hug you. You are my friend. Just thinking it. The warmest of hugs. Thank you so much, my friend. I live in Australia. Yes, it's about 1 or 20 minutes past 1 a.m. here. Thank you, my friend. Thank you so much for joining me. I wonder, my morning streams, because I've been streaming in the morning as of late now for the last while, how late are they for you? Maybe it would be more convenient to catch those if you're willing to, my friend. Of course, I'm not gonna force you to do anything. I want you to sleep, especially now that I'm sleeping properly again. Like I'm going to bed at 9 p.m. so I can wake up at 5. I love that you are here with us. Same. Like it's genuinely a blessing. Ozzy, nice. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure having you, my friend. You make this place a little bit better. Oh, you sneaked up on me, sister. I love you. Hey, Icy Control. It's nice to have you here, friend. Oh, Edmund. Good morning to you. Thank you for joining us. You are always welcome. Good morning. Bill Cosby is innocent. Are you sure that's something you wanna, say? I don't know if that's helping anyone. I'm not sure if that's aligned with love. Bill Cosby is not innocent. I'm sorry. Like, it's not something that bothers me. But if you're not going to, treat human beings with decency, then you can't expect yourself to be treated with decency, my friend. But I love you. Yes, dudes. Even your username is giving me like yikes vibes. Edmund, happy Monday, friend. How was your weekend? Does that asshole Gabe? What's wrong? I mean, it's kind of making me laugh. You know what? I need to wash myself clean after those 2 comments. You want to go? Oh, you just want to reposition. Okay. You're on my scarf. Love this little doge. Whew. Light. I'm just going to imagine myself drinking actual light, like flowing through my beingness. I don't know why, but for a second it hurt. Thank you for the wholesome astral. That's so nice of you, friend. Oven cookie tasted so scrumptious. Sorry, bro. No sorries whatsoever. I'm just so happy that you get to experience a toasty. Like there's this, small monkey on the back of my beingness. It's like, eat food, get high. And I'm like, no, dude. I'm not gonna get high or eat food right now. Pandemoniacs. It's been forever. I'm gonna read your comment for now. I just want to read Edmund's first. And happy Monday to you, Yater. Weekend was good, made good progress with the move, and I went to a lantern festival last night. I have photos I'll share in the Discord after stream. How was yours, friend? Thank you for letting our friend know. Thank you for letting me know, in turn as well, Edmund. I'm so happy to hear that, dude. I look forward to seeing those lantern festival photos, I guess would be the best way to say it. Pandemoniacs. Pandomatics. Your username still bamboozles me, Fred. Thank you for joining us again. Our interment is these corporal vessels. In our internment in these corporal vessels is transitory. But it's important to know that we're all connected. Yes, we're part of a greater consciousness. Yes, I think we are all here because of this connection. I mean, yes, but I believe we're not all here necessarily. Like, I believe we're all here because of that connection. Yes, like 100%. Like, every single human being is technically God masquerading as, oh, I'm just little me. And then even if little me goes out murdering people, it's still, at essence, Godness. And as you're saying as well, it's transitory. It's something that is a little bit illusionary. But I believe as well that there are different connections too. Like if you have a stronger connection to that consciousness and you have a genuine understanding of how we are all interconnected, then suddenly murdering someone is as to murder yourself. And I think not everyone has that connection just yet. Bruh to you as well. Empty, I'll call you. Shell Silverstein, Infamous One. Oh, my heart. I don't know who that is, unfortunately, Kira. I love your hairstyle. Thank you, Pine. It grows its way out of my head. Forgot I was an admin. Heh, nice. On the stream? Oh, shit. Yeah, you are actually. Shel Silverstein. I like that also goes over my head. I'm sorry, Fred. I was talking about your book, Estian. I know it isn't easy since everything is handwritten. Just showing its age a little bit. Just a little. Yeah, it is actually, dude. I was actually thinking about how dirty it's gotten, over the while we've been using it. And I've been thinking, like, kind of the dirt is almost like a backdrop. And now I want to, like, maybe do line art or something like that over top of it. I have to get good at art first. Like, I still feel absolutely atrocious. So I'm scared I'll ruin it. Shel Silverstein is a gem. I forget how, but my grandmother knows him personally. Okay. I think they're like distant cousins or just old friends or something. That's awesome. I don't know who that is, unfortunately, but that is amazing. Yo, isn't it? But no. I'm like burning with this living being on top of me right now, but I will not let her go. She's my little being. Much. Oh, cool. I look forward to seeing those photos. Same. Sounds awesome. My weekend was good too. I'm so happy to hear that, Yater. Happy Monday, friends. Happy Monday to you on B. How are you feeling? I want to say today, even though it feels like I met you today. The paradox. How are you feeling this morning? Let me ask that rather. It was beautiful. Glad you had a good weekend, brother. Hello, dude. How's it going? Sacred Carrot. I'm doing well, friend. I'm doing really, really well. I'm feeling a little bit tired and hungry, but I'm doing very, very well. How about you, dude? Happiest of Mondays, dear one. Thank you so much. Yes, you are Budget Western. Yes, you are, friend. The fourth dimension is time. That's true as well. I'm confused. Mazi, just listen more, friend. Like, I'm confused as well. I don't know anything. I just try and talk from the place of immediate experience. When you feel something and that thing you feel feels like truth, like fact, like, ooh, I want to share that. That's what I do constantly. I'm not saying it's absolutely true. Sometimes it's the furthest thing from, because we talk about, for instance, plant people that bioengineer themselves so that their own bodies produce THC and then in turn smoking themselves, right? That's not a truth, not even close to, and it can be confusing, but it's just, intellectual candy almost, if you want to. Oh my goodness, I'm starstruck. Where the Sidewalk Ends was the first book I mentioned. Obviously, not the whole thing, but most of the poems. I literally started shaking like a Beatles fangirl from the old days. I'm so happy to hear the excitement, my friend. Unless you were born in 1932 in a past life. Yes. Did I miss our friends? Yes, I was born now instead of 1932. Was it predestined? I mean, I would say yes. I would say it's not predestined. I would say you chose to be here in this time. And sometimes you'll choose to be in 1932, so that you may experience what it feels like to fight in World War II. I mean, maybe if you're born in 1932, you might miss the World War. What a beautiful song. Sing to me more. I look away. No, don't leave. Ah, yeah. So, like, if you, like, for instance, you get born 19, 1919, you grow up, you turn 18, and you get freaking drafted to war, and you fight in war, and you die in war. Horrible, yes, but it's as experiencer, experiencing what it would be like to be born in an age of war, to fight in said war, and to die in said war. If that didn't happen, that experience would be lacking within divine mind. And if you look at our universe, let's not even say divine mind, let's just say our universe. Infinity means all of it happens. There can be no lack. I am living a past life in complementary times. No, I don't think you're living a past life, because I feel every single time we're reincarnated, we forget purposefully. Because if we had to hold on to all the information, it would be too much. Like, if we could hold on to all of the valuable information, it would be great. But unfortunately, it doesn't work that way. And I also believe that in not knowing certain sets of information, you have a new and novel way of looking at things. Like problem solving, for example. If you don't know how to solve a problem, be it your behavior, be it your inability to keep a relationship, be it your propensity to be hateful instantly, like, those things need to be addressed. And not knowing how to address them gives you an opportunity to, with your divinity, ask yourself questions that can help you heal from those things. And if you knew, from the get-go how to do that, then you wouldn't have had the experience of being in that state, recognizing that state, and transcending that state. And that movement, that change, is fundamental to why we are here. It's one of the most beautiful parts. Oh, that's so awesome. I definitely memorized a few poems from the book back in the day as well. I don't think I still have a copy, though. Looks like I have something else to put on my Christmas list. There we go. Jort, it's been forever. Happy day, Melton friends. Yay, keep talking about ego. I need mine to die. No, Jort, it doesn't need to die, friend. I think it needs to expand, and like we use in our Western way, we say, oh, this dude has a big ego, and that utilization of the word, this dude has a big ego, is the understanding that there's no space for anyone else when the ego enters, right? Like, oh, someone walks into the room, oh yeah, I'm this and I'm that, oh yeah, everybody be afraid of me, oh, and everybody, quiver as I speak. Then that's the big ego. That's like the ego doesn't leave space for anyone in that room, and also doesn't allow anyone to get close to the beingness underlying that ego. What I mean when I say you have to expand your ego is for you to not only consider your ego as this mind body, but to consider your ego to encapsulate, like I kind of like to go all the way to Jupiter, like, because I have a painting of Jupiter in my room, so I visualize, like, as a Taurus, my ego expanding over the Earth, over Mars, over Venus, and then reaching up to Jupiter, and encompassing all of that space, and thinking to myself, within this space, that I'm going to bring the love that I have at my core in that moment to that entire space. And what that does, when you can expand your ego like that, you're encompassing and encapsulating all of it. So in the same way where you as an ego would feel attacked if something, let's say a bee was to hurt your skin, right? You're like, oh, damn it, bee, why you attack my ego? And you get angry, for example. If you can expand your ego to the point where it encapsulates just the entire earth or your neighborhood, then someone throwing a paper on the ground, someone, graffitiing penises on your, local buildings, someone hurting someone else is an offense to you. So the ego doesn't have to die. It needs to encompass more. It needs to encompass more than just this body and just this life. It needs to be inclusive of other beings as well. And when we can do that, when we can allow our egos to include others, I believe that's when we will, make a lot of things better for all of us included. Melton fam, friends, sending you all the light. Thank you, Lisa, sending you so much light right back. Masha Iva Mash Mash. She's just so calm. She has a blanket of her own, but she was just today like, no, I'm gonna come and sit in your lap. She's so cute. She is the best. I love her so, so much. Thank you for the wholesome Jovan. For the buff dog, Matthias. I appreciate you so much, dude. Love to you. How have you been, dude? I hope you slept well. Thank you for the silver bucket. The usernames are so interesting today. Do I... Why do I get deja vu? Indication I've been here before. East Dance, at least the current scientific understanding of deja vu is that instead of a memory or, immediate experience being stored in your short-term memory, it goes directly to your long-term memory. And the way your brain perceives short-term versus long-term memories has different neural pathways. So as soon as you perceive, a memory that you're experiencing right now as a past memory, it feels like you have been here before, because in your brain, it only stores memories of where you've been before. If that makes any sense, my friend. I'm not saying that's the fact. I'm saying that's the current scientific understanding. Mush mush and that sweet Eva girl. Oh, and all of you too, of course. And to you, Jovan. Thank you so much for being here with us. I love you all. Eat red meat. It's nice to have you here as well, my friend. I love you. I love you so much, dude. I love Candace. I love you, brother. You look like Heath Ledger. Yes, I'm looking forward to them calling me for the Joker role. Light. Yeah, I would love to play the Joker at some point. Even be it parody, I'd still do it. Be the devout proletariat. I don't know what that word means. Is what they preach. I don't know who they is or what a proletariat is. But it sounds cool. You must get it so that we can recite together. That's beautiful. Love you, Candace. I'm sorry I've been spelling it wrong. No, my friend. I don't think Candace minds at all, genuinely. We are here, just like all other species, to procreate until the sun goes supernova. Are you sure about that, friend? Are you really sure about that? Why do you think there's evolution if it was just to procreate, right? If it was just about procreation, we would have stayed single-celled organisms, because we were pretty good at procreating as single-celled organisms. Because instead of just procreating, you just... and now there's another one of me next to me, right? If I could do that, it'd be really fucking efficient at me procreating. But no. That single-celled organism became more and more and more and more and more complex. And here we are, dude, as living human beings. Freaking ruining our planet, so intelligent we are. We're definitely not just here to procreate, dude. Thoughts on negativity? I'm not exactly sure how to answer that question. Thoughts on negativity? Like, I believe negativity is a part of, this reality. Negativity allows us to experience positivity. Without the negativity, we wouldn't have a measure to align ourselves with positivity, if you will. So I think it serves a function. I just don't think it serves us, if that makes sense. Please forgive me, but I must ask, what happened to Kiki? I'm oblivious. Kiki passed away. Eat red meat, unfortunately. Right there. My brother backed out of the garage. He didn't see her because it's pretty narrow, and he drove over her, unfortunately, my friend. Melita, thank you for joining us, my friend. We don't need to know why we're here, nor what to do to be able to do what we're supposed to do, even when doing nothing. Wu Wei. Yeah, you're completely right, Melita. Like, I shared the message, if you will, about the title a little bit earlier, But I still agree with what you were saying, my friend. If you want to hear what I said, I would actually recommend it. My name means nothing, my friend. Your appreciation of my presence is what matters. I knew it. I knew Candace would be completely okay with it. A terrible accident. That's true. Kiki passed away. Thank you, friends, for letting our friend know as well. I love you all indeed. I sent a piece of us all into the sky last night at the Lantern Festival. Put the love and energy of this group into my lantern and wrote a few messages on it as well. Thank you for bringing that intention into the world, my friend. I appreciate you so much, Edmund. Let us shine like the sun until the sun no longer shines. Then we shall glow even brighter. I love that so much. That's beautiful. Thank you for letting our friend know that love is true as well. Sounds like a plan. Thank you. I feel bad. I won't forget now that I know. No, don't forget, my friend. Don't worry about forgetting at all. All this time I thought you were in South Africa. I am, East Dance. I am in South Africa and everywhere we are. True as well, Candace. I'm getting a puppy tonight. I was going to name her Sky. Going to? You can still name her Sky, my friend. That's a beautiful name. It was a pretty powerful moment, releasing it into the sky. Literally, the next friend says the word sky again. I mean, that is synchronicity if I've ever seen it, my friend. I think Sky is a beautiful name. In Israel, huh? No. Awesome, congratulations. Sounds beautiful. Somebody walking in the back. It's okay. People walk sometimes. And there's other people on this planet as well. What kind? I'm also curious, actually. What kind of puppy are you getting? Nope, it's a South African friend. You're right. Seriously, that little robot had the wrong attitude. Instead of being like, oh my God, in the existential dread, he should have just kicked back and started lathering the butter all around. Like, oh, you want butter, do you? Have butter, Mr. Sir. And the dude is like, scoops butter, puts it on the toast, and he's like, yeah. That dude's got butter. I agree completely, Toasty. I agree completely, man. Mom was a Rottweiler. Dad was a blue heeler. I don't know what a blue heeler is, but I do know what a Rottweiler is. It's gonna be a biggin, is what you're saying, I'm guessing. Thank you. I kinda knew it. Lovely landscape. Thank you, East Dance. It's nice to have you here, my friend. I mean, there's not too much landscape right now. I mean, technically there's a little bit of mountain range here, but I'm like sitting in front of a technically non-indigenous tree. It doesn't grow naturally here in South Africa. Aw, sounds cute. Will you share a picture on the Discord? I hope so. I will definitely. There we go. Thank you so much, my friend. I woke up last night with joint pain and I wanted to sleep, so I went outside to smoke. No more October for me, but that's okay. It's completely okay, Aiden. I just, love you all the same, my friend. Random fun fact, your eyeballs are actually an exposed part of your brain. Yeah, that's true, Eat Red Meat. Your eyeballs are part brain. Man, that's such a weird thing to say. But yeah. I hear gummies work well for joint pain. They can. Fun fact, I wish my 2 exposed brain parts didn't read that. I mean, to me, it's not something that bothers me, Like, I've accepted so much how, natural things are. It's something that always confused me. Like, when I've been in relationships before, like, I'll wake up, next to my significant other, and I would want to kiss her. And then she's like, no, I haven't brushed my teeth yet. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I don't want to, know if your breath, is going to taste good, because that's not the point. I want to show you I love you first thing in the morning. And again, like, having stinky breath in the morning, it's just natural. It's fundamentally human. Having exposed brain parts, it's fundamentally human. Nothing weird about it. It just is. I failed on day 1 and I smoked as well. Oh well, I'm still not drinking at least. That sounds perfect to me, friend. Like, I'm literally, going through a sober October as a pursuit of what I believe I need to do. Day 1 was super anxiety ridden. We pushed through. We got this, Aiden. I'm so proud of you, Jovan. Like, Jovan, to you friends who don't know, JoBot makes things. Technically, she's been streaming on her other account but she posts pictures of the things she makes as well on the Jobot Makes Things page. She's an amazing artist. She's been doing Inktober streams where she's been doing these little drawings, and she's been doing Sober October. I'm so proud of you, my friend. Yeah, edibles and topicals can be great. I just don't have any right now, unfortunately. It's completely okay, Aiden. Edibles. I really, really like edibles. I think edibles might actually be my preferred way of consuming cannabis. I hear gasps. Yeah, it's true. Because edibles for me, like one of the bonuses of it, it has a longer duration. I wanted to say active duration, but I'm not sure if that's the correct way to say it. It lasts longer, if you will, and it isn't so. It's quite literally a different chemical. It's delta hydroxy 11 THC because it gets processed by your liver. And then that chemical technically is kind of psychedelic. It might just be me liking psychedelics more than just stimulation, if you will. But yeah, I kind of appreciate edibles as well. It's well loved. I love books that you can tell are used often. I agree, actually. That's a beautiful thing to say. Thank you for like aligning me with that thought as well, Edmund. On BZ. I'm so sorry, Meld. Those comments were supposed to be removed. No, it's completely okay. Don't worry at all, my friend. Like, I feel like I got caught off guard by them because I was in like such a mindset of like, woohoo, light, and then suddenly I was like, poof, whoa, and then again, poof, whoa. It's completely okay on B. Don't worry about it at all, my friend. Hope you feel better and get some quickly. I hope so as well. Much to you, infamous one. Estian Shel Silverstein wrote amazing children's books of poetry and such, and also some pretty insane comics, if I am just remembering correctly. Yikes, I gotta look this up. Thank you for letting me know, my friend. I would love to know more. I love Shel Silverstein. Maybe I know about his books. I just never connected, his writing to his actual name. I wouldn't be surprised. I own some of his books from my childhood. That's amazing, Matthias. I'm so happy to hear that. Maybe it's an American thing as well. You must! I was just reading that to my son and wanted to share. I'm glad you guys like Shell too. Emma has a few Silverstein books as well. She loves them. This sucks! Cringe! John McQueen. I would love to have a conversation with you or, tune into your stream one day, my friend. See how much you do not suck, if you will. It would be a nice change of pace. That bird song was a delight, right? It was just so happy. Like he just landed and he didn't make a kind of oscillating beep 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 beep. It was very intricate. He had, nuance to that. Hello there. Help me to learn English. I'll help you learn English, my friend. Keep showing up. I'll keep speaking English. Sometimes I'll speak a little bit of Afrikaans, but mostly English. Thank you for the also, my friend. I have my copy from the 80s near my altar space. Ask Emma what's her favorite is. I'm curious as well, actually. Maybe there's some alignment, maybe some more synchronicity. Oh, yes, I just looked the author up. I read a few of her things growing up. I think it's a he, actually, Aiden. I also was confused about the Shell name, but I think it's a he. Hello, Melt, and everyone in chat. Hey, Onyx. Thank you for joining us again today, my friend. It's so nice having you here. And everyone. Oh, it's so nice. Estian always drops the best wisdom. Thank you, Matthias. Whew. I feel the wisdom drops into me first, and then I get to, expel it, if you will. I don't feel I can take credit for all of it. Sometimes none of it. I feel like it definitely is. And the crazy thing about it is the fact that I come into the space and then it's almost like from the space, sharing the space with you friends, like that wisdom, if you will, flows. You friends encourage me to share wisdom or give me something to share wisdom on. If it wasn't for you friends, I would just be mute. I don't know if that's true, but I love you. You're absolutely essential. Tell me I'm clever. Tell me I'm kind. Tell me I'm talented. Tell me I'm cute. Tell me I'm sensitive. Tell me I'm wise. Tell me I'm perfect. But tell me the truth. Shel Silverstein. Mm, that's beautiful, dude. I like that so much, actually. All the way to Jupiter. That sounds intense. I mean, it helps that I have a visual, like a visual element to visualize it with, but it's not something I do constantly. It's usually something I'll do, during meditation. Rage. I like that one. Being honest to ourselves is important. Like, interestingly enough, Toasty, I've been thinking about honesty so much as of late, and how, there is this potential. And like, I wouldn't be surprised if you friends were doubtful as well, but there's the potential for me to continue not being sober and pretending, to be sober. And the thing I instantly let myself know about that is that there is no lying to anyone else. Again, if you understand that we're all interconnected, there's only lying to yourself. And what's the point of that? There's nothing to gain from lying to yourself. It's literally you casting yourself into illusion. Whew, Jovan is such a beautiful name, right? I love that name as well. It kind of makes me, I don't even know, like it has this soft feeling to it. Jovan. I love it so much. It really is. I slept kind of weird. I kept waking up like every 2 or 3 hours after I would go to sleep. Did you change something? Like, are you doing Sober October as well, Matthias? Are you drinking caffeine before you go to bed? Did you drink a lot of water before you go to bed? Like, I'm curious. Like, is there any variables that could influence that? That was my first thought when I met her. It has been like Giovanna's been here since day 34. And yeah, like my memory almost of her, like thinking back to all of the times we shared together, is just like, the more I go from day 34 to where we are right now, it's just like small little, like a small flash of light, but the witnesser has a long exposure time. So the small flashes of light just became brighter and brighter and brighter and brighter. So now every single time I think about Chauvin, it's just this blinding light that hits me. Estienne versus Robert Patterson in the new Batman movie. Yeah, let's get it, dude. We have to we have to like get one of those change.orgs, get Meld to be the Batman. And we get like 20, 20 signatures. We're like, oh, we tried. Damn it, we tried. Beautiful name for a beautiful person. As are yours, Edmund. Every single one of your names are absolutely beautiful. Talented AF, gentle and kind to top grade quality human. I'm so happy that, oh, sorry, Eva, that Giovanna is being showered with love. I see her, kind of, not cringing. What's the, being shy, like, oh. We love you, Jovan. We love you so, so much. The proper proletariat is the working class in Marxist and other leftist theory. Yeah, you don't. Yeah, if you understand Marxism, mm-mm. No, 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 no. No, no, please no. Hello, Mel. How have you been? Baked potato. Lisa. Yeah, I almost forgot your name. It's been like 4 months or something. No. Yeah. It's so nice to see you again. Thank you for joining us. I've been well. Sick hair, bro. Thank you. It grows its way out of my head. Nice shirt. Where you get your clothing from? Onyx. I buy my clothing, or at least I bought the clothing I have right now at our local strip mall. Is it a strip mall? Kind of. Yeah. Just literally me walking down the aisle, looking into a store. Oh, they sell clothes. Let me see if they have button-up shirts. Oh, this one has a nice pattern. I take. That's where I bought my clothes, friends. So it's like literally all of the shirts I have came from like 6 different places. team, thanks for sharing this breath space. We are interdependent. I'm not sure if we're interdependent, Tribul, but we are inter-supportive, I would rather say. It's not like we absolutely, unequivocally need one another, but we get to lean on one another when we need one another. You know, when you feel down, when you feel unaligned, when you feel sad, this space allows you to have someone that will be there for you. But in the same way, going out in the world, I know you're going to bring love nonetheless. We're not interdependent, we're co-creating. Damn, right on the head. Thoughts about healing from trauma. What do you think of trauma? Or on a psychological way, I'm fascinated by how our mind can physically change from emotional tribulations. So, like, this is something I kind of feel a little bit unequipped to talk about sometimes, Toasty. You know, especially feeling, oh man, it's difficult. You know, like, I would say in some ways that I didn't experience trauma. You know, I drowned as a kid, which I guess could be traumatic. And, you know, my parents convinced me, if you will, that there was some sort of guilt-based system of me being here on this planet. You know, like, I wasn't deserving of things. And for this reason, like, I got treated in the way that I did. And those things, I guess, could be traumatic as well. But I was never sexually abused. I was never, you know, I mean, I got beaten as a kid. Like, that was, you know, that's just discipline in South Africa. But I was never, you know, like, beaten with a fist by my dad or something like that. It did happen with my uncle. He did beat me with a fist. You know, like, me and my brother got into a fight, and then he decided to intervene, and then he started beating me. And my dad, like, literally came like a superhero to me to, like, save me from that situation. And I'll never forget my dad coming up from me in love in that way. And I'll also never forget the way my uncle, you know, acted. And I'm calling myself out right now. I've never forgiven him for that. Ek vergewe jou, Oom Tewie. I forgive you, Uncle Tewie. I forgive you, I forgive you, I forgive you. I feel I hold on to my lack of forgiveness in my forehead area, interestingly enough. Yeah, getting back to the point, Toasty, trauma. So the interesting thing about trauma is the fact that trauma can be something that almost becomes programmed into your physical beingness in a way where your trauma isn't only mental based, and we definitely know that, you know, trauma can physically change our brains as well, but your trauma and the feelings around trauma almost becomes ingrained in your body in a way that you very viscerally feel your trauma. And like, this I know because I've been, you know, reading a lot about it, but I do not know, Toasty. I think I would have to do a lot more, you know, looking into it, if you will. Like, maybe even take up a course of psychology. I would love to know more because I would love to help people in that state of being as well. Psychological trauma gets stored in parts of our body, unfortunately. There, Irina says it as well. Yeah, that's true. I can say from personal experience, my past traumas have caused memory loss. Yep. That's something that literally happens as well. Like, our trauma, and you know, that's the crazy thing about trauma as well, is that you can be unaware that you're traumatized. And it's kind of surreal in that way, because being unaware that you're traumatized, you're also unaware that you have the ability to heal yourself. And then as a result of that, we act in, you know, certain ways. We have certain behaviors that aren't beneficial. And it can be a result of that underlying trauma that we're either unwilling to confront or unaware of the ability to confront it. And something that really fascinates me and makes me very excited, MDMA is right now being FDA approved to treat trauma and PTSD. So we have means to help each other. Excellent question. It really is, Kira. I just wish I had more ways to actually answer the question. The same friend. I am also a huge fan of edibles, says Dion. Well, Tiffany had to you, Lisa. Edible fans. I used to make a sick can of pudding back in the day when I still ate things like that. Yeah, Rena's actually also on the keto train. I want to go back to keto when I'm coming back off the fast. I did go back to keto after my last fast. But unfortunately, it is significantly more expensive to eat keto. I mean, Aiden says, my brain looks at things differently after traumatic events in my teens. Than I guess it did before. So I think it definitely does change the brain. I read a book a few weeks ago about the actual study in the body's way of handling PTSD and trauma. The book is called Your Body Keeps a Score. Again, with the alignment. Yeah, like it's very interesting. Our trauma is like very bodily stored. And, where thinking is, a function of the mind, feeling is a function of the body. You feel with your body, emotions included. And the thing is, the mind, will try and disconnect itself from the memories that activate those feeling patterns. But if you can't feel through something, if you can't come to a state of acceptance, if you can't try and get better or heal yourself or potentially change your behaviors as a result of your traumas, or how you look at it, how you perceive yourself within that trauma, because that's also something that happens so much, is that we somehow find a way to blame ourselves for our traumatic events. Hopefully I spelled it right. I have absolutely no idea who that is, actually. Rose is bad, he said so. I don't think we've seen that trend before. Is one of your friends, Hira? Try cranial sacral therapy. It works well for releasing physical and emotional trauma. That sounds amazing. Thank you for letting us know, good hands. I appreciate you sharing the information. Waiting for SS. Hi to you, friend. Thank you for joining us as well. Another fun fact, your metabolism peaks at the age of 1. Really? I mean, I'm gonna believe you, Charles, but I feel like the way I'm perceiving that that's interesting, dude. That's very interesting. Thank you for sharing that, man. Thank you. Well, check it out. Interesting. Charles, hi, friend. Hi, Charles. I should say hi as well, dude. Thank you for joining us, man. You guys, I love you. Ah, there we go. Yes, feel the love, Jovan. Feel the praise. Get it. Get it. No stopping. Anything over here. I feel like give off those vibes that people can instantly tell that I'm not feeling right or I'm not being my true self. Like you said, we're all connected. I feel like give off those vibes. I don't know if you want to say you feel like I give off those vibes or you feel like you're giving off those vibes, my friend. People can instantly tell that I'm not, like you say, I'm not feeling right or I'm not being my true self. And now the way I'm perceiving the thing you're saying, ya boy, is are you saying that when you're not your true self, people notice instantly? Or do you feel that you haven't been your true self and every single time you are in a social interaction, people know that you're not your true self? Like, I'm curious about that. Red Bushman, small indeed, dude. Oh, Gob, thank you for joining us. Gob has been absolutely massacring on our pan, and it makes me so happy. He has the formula in the bank right now. You're like, as in like, what's the formula, Melt? All of the dogs. You get all of the dogs in a single room, and then you turn on a camera, and then people come. People come. Dude, like, you didn't see it. I was in that stream, actually, and I was, like, sending you love. And then one of the people was, like, job title, pooper scooper, or something like that. And I was like, alternative title, sanitation expert. And I was like, yeah, Gob ain't no pooper scooper. Gob is adds monocle, a sanitation expert. When I think of her, I see bright light. Say, my friend, thank you so much. I love gassing up friends until they blush. Yes, gas with your fun. It's the best, man. It makes me so happy. Make you tap out from love. You're like, yeah, please. Stop. I love it as much as you do as well, dude. Heather, she says, morning, friends. I wanted to sprinkle some love while I refill my tea. It's nice to come to one place. Forward love, fill our cups, feel our worth, and find acceptance. Whew, what a beautiful message. We love you, Heather. Thank you so much for sharing this space with us, my friend. Yes, exactly. How are you today? Not asking me. Gob, your popper pack was lit this morning. I hope you're feeling a little lighter today. Love you, bro. I'm actually curious, and I wanted to ask you, Gob, are you now, or have you been promoted to one of the bigger dog rooms? Because I saw a bunch of like labs and stuff today, dude, and I would consider those bigger dogs. I remember Gob telling me that he's been assigned to the smaller dog rooms, if you will. Hey Gob, I was multitasking, but I love Siobhan. So proud to call her a friend and sister. As am I, Lisa. As am I. Baked potato still here? I hope so. Shel Silverstein, the giving tree, where the sidewalk ends, failing up, and the light in the attic. All of those, unfortunately, over my head. I've never read any of them, unfortunately, but they do sound amazing. Are you in the room looking at my bookshelf? If not, come over. Hugs to you, Onyx. Thank you so much. I've changed my sleep schedule around a bit because I used to get up early, but now I don't need to. So my body is trying to break out of the old cycle. Okay. I mean, that would explain it. Has it been happening a lot? Let me ask that, actually. That's what I think. It might be that, my friend. That was beautiful. You are beautiful, Toasty. Forgiveness is healing. Love to you, Estia. Love to you, Lisa. Thank you so much, my friend. This week seems like forgiveness is a theme. It has been, dude. The craziest part as well, like forgiveness and freedom, I feel, has been the theme. And there is freedom in forgiveness. So they kind of go hand in hand. And with like my writing of things we're saying today, now I have to read it. He actually went into freedom as well. And this is what he said about freedom. Freedom is closer than your own breath. Because freedom is as soon as you stop living an illusion. As soon as you stop perceiving yourself as just this mind-body, as soon as you stop perceiving yourself as an insignificant part of this universe, you are free. Because you go from being encapsulated in an infinitesimally small point of your humanness to becoming or realizing your becoming of the entire universe. Freedom is closer than your own breath. Because again, the breath that you're breathing right now technically has to, ebb and flow. And as you take this breath, you have to let it go. But your freedom doesn't have to be let go of. We do sometimes, and I think we do it because we want to see what it's like to be in prison. But it's not the reality, not the ultimate reality, rather. Toasty, I have some thoughts swirling around the trauma question, ideas and such, would be interested in chatting more, please do, Kira. Please do. Race you to the Discord after. There we go. We should make a thread on the Discord. I really love this topic as well. Please do. Maybe in the spiritual experience, like tab, like make a thread and like put it on for like a lot of days. Not just 24 hours. Yes, to thread. There we go, Dealski. At least you friends have the power to create threads as well. I think even you now have the power, Aiden. I have officially dubbed you a Molten One, dude. Hey, Melt, I hope you're having a good day today. Dry, I'm having the best of days, friend. I hope you're having a wonderful day as well. How have you been, dude? Like, you can tell me, actually. Oh, Estia, such powerful vibes. As you say, I forgive you. Forgiveness is for the forgiver. It's you accepting again your freedom in. I'm loving this conversation today. I'm loving you joining us in this conversation. Thank you, Dry. And hello, every other lovely human in chat. We all have trauma, some more intense than others. Regardless of the event and subsequent triggers, we are influenced by the damage of our past. I would love to hear how everyone heals in their own way. Is dit Eva? Die mense hier so. Leg maar loose. Nee? Oh, okay. Kan nog maar loose, Chipo. Awesome. Bye-bye. Ooh, nice and stretchy. Ooh, man, my legs. Like she's kind of heavy actually. She weighs like, she fit. No, I was thinking maybe she understands Afrikaans. I was like expecting a back look. When I ask her, is she fit? It's like, are you fat? But she no response. So damn it, I don't think she understood me. Maybe like 15 kg dojis. Like she's not that heavy, but she's heavier than nothing. Like I'm still ruminating, right? That's the word, about Toasty's question about how do we as individuals heal from our traumas. I feel, sitting with them, genuinely sitting with them, is the only way that I know how to deal with my trauma, at least. That's the way I've been trying to deal with mine. Like instead of running away, instead of ignoring the thing I'm feeling in that moment, I'm like, okay, this is the way it is. This is what I'm feeling. I'm going to be here for it. I heal by finding people that are better than those that hurt me. Those that can tell me that I am good, because it is hard for me to tell myself, even hard to take it from others, but I need to learn not to self-criticize. Dry, you too will, my friend. Like I don't think this is necessarily, the only reason for it, if you will, but I know that you are, still young. And I feel with being young, self-criticism is almost, base. Like I'm actively self-criticizing myself as well, dude. So I don't think it's something we need to learn to not do at all. I just think we need to rather equip ourselves to love ourselves on top of being willing, if you will, to criticize ourselves as well. It's more a finding of balance rather than abolishing one or another. That gave me goosebumps. Divine, individualized expressions. You friends are so beautiful. Made me giggle out loud. Raise you to the Discord, you too. We become the stories we tell ourselves. If we hang out of negativity, we become more negative. Yeah, I very thoroughly watched this happen to myself at one point in my life as well. Like in high school, age 14, 15, 16, like drinking is what's in. If you don't drink, then you're not allowed to hang out with us, this and that. And like unfortunately, I don't think necessarily it was just the alcohol, but the friends I had was very much aligned with materialism, sex, money, just experience. And it became my reality as well. At age 16, because this was what was the thing to do, I got a girlfriend. And me and her became very sexually active, and were very sexually active for like 2.5 years. And upon my mom finding out about this, she was like devastated, like, "Oh, who are you? You're not my little boy anymore." She literally told me that. I'm like, "Mom, whether or not I have sex doesn't change me." And now, almost like looking at it from the perspective of where I am now, I don't think it changed me, but I think the energy underlying it was, right? Like the need for it was changing me. The actual act doesn't. But if you're completely obsessed with it to the point where that's the only thing you want to pursue, then yes, it does change you. Mm-mm-mm. And like, I wouldn't say that's necessarily negative, but I was influenced in that way, because I was hanging out with people who was only aligned with that kind of thinking. I'm glad that didn't come across as vain or egocentric. No, Dry, not even for a little bit, my friend. Only love. I read an article stating that it peaks at 1, a gentle slowdown until the age of 20, steady from 20 to 60, and then rapidly declines after, I'm guessing. Okay. Like the reason I was like so in a mental state of like trying to like reference all of the information I have is because I know of people who gained back, if you will, metabolism later. Like their metabolism sped up later in life. Like I think mine did, is the thing. Like maybe it was just my consumption habits and the foods I was choosing to eat. Maybe my metabolism didn't necessarily know how to process those foods in a way that it would just burn them. Instead, it was just storing them. And then maybe as a result of me exercising, I actually, now that I'm thinking about it, exercising does, increase your metabolism. So, like, I'm not saying you're wrong, Charles. I'm just, questioning, just like feeling into the felt fact of my immediate experience, if you will. Truth. The stories we tell ourselves. Yep. We become the stories we tell ourselves. I have all those books. Have loved them since young school. Lamau, Dog Groomer, Pet Heretic Mission. I'm happy you appreciate it as well, Mariah. We love you, my friend. Thank you for joining us and sharing this space. Convo is on point this morning. It's feeling so natural, and this is something I talked to my brother about as well. Did I forget to say that? I did, actually. I was starting to get into that loop, about something I said to Toasty, and then I think I talked about the brownie instead. But what I wanted to say about that is that, like, it might either, like, technically THC is fat soluble. So if you smoke weed for an extended period of time, there quite literally becomes or gathers reserves of THC in your actual physical fat cells. And then I mentioned to Toasty, I don't know if I am experiencing that, the actual, like, because I'm fasting on top of, taking Sober October. I don't know if as my body burns fat, it's also releasing THC constantly. Because, like, I told this to my brother as well, like, it feels like I am in a high state of mind. And it started on day 2, directly after the meditation. And it hasn't dissipated since. It might just be, the actual ketones that's rushing through my brain as well. So happy we got around to talk about forgiveness again. Rena, so happy that you're here for it, my friend. To you friends who don't know, like on the Discord, Rena actually asked the question yesterday as to how to forgive, especially how to forgive when you feel so viscerally angry on a bodily level where you have no inkling of forgiving someone. And I was like literally, like when I felt like if I was forgiving my uncle, I was referencing again all of the things he did and how it hurt me and how that, pain was attached to my inability to forgive him. And as soon as I did, it almost felt like those pain went like, or not those pain, the pain went away as well. The Batman? Whoa. She looks about 35 pounds. Yeah, that's about 15 kilograms, dude. 35 pounds is, well, 35 pounds is, I think, yeah, that's about right. That's about right. I have been trying to reach you about your car's extended warranty. Damn it, Batman, you got me. You got me, man. Oh, man, I love that meme. Like there would be the inevitable heat death of the universe, and then a phone will ring, on the last existing spaceship. You pick it up. Hello, sir. We've been trying to reach you about your car's extended. Damn it! It's the phone. No. Let me enjoy the inevitable heat death of the universe in peace. Hey, Cesar. Lekker dag, hoor. Heel rustig, dankie. Thank you for that, Melt. I love your take on that. It was beautiful. You are beautiful, Dry. Thank you for being so receptive and willing to listen, my friend. It's been happening on and off. It's been weird. Some nights I sleep fine, and then I can't go to sleep for a long period of time. That's interesting as well, Matthias. Like, I've been having a hard time initially getting to sleep, and I don't know if this is a result of, the lack of cannabis, lack of caffeine, lack of food, but I've been feeling like mildly depressive, when I try to go to sleep, like to the point where I'm holding onto a pillow, as well when I'm trying to sleep. And then the holding onto the pillow makes me feel even worse. And I'm like, can I just go to sleep, please? So, like, in that way, I've also been having some hard times to sleep. And then as soon as I fall asleep, then I sleep like a brick. And I've been dreaming. I have been dreaming. I had a dream about being in school last night. Not very exciting, but yeah, it happened. Dreaming again. Hello! Oh, Gab, it's so nice to have you here, dude. I was actually thinking you left. Oh, thank you for the heartwarming, my friend. I appreciate that so much. You are so absolutely precious. I'm a bit intermittent, but I do know I'm mad love pouring out of all of you. Oh, Jovan, it makes me so happy that we can do stuff like that, being separated by hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands of kilometers, and yet, the ability to share love is instant. As soon as that message drops, as soon as I say the word, that message is felt. It transcends time and space. It's amazing. Oh, that's what you were talking about. Damn, that's a trip. Yeah, dude, that's what I'm thinking. I'm not sure if it is that way. It might be. It might be, but I don't know if the concentrations would be that high. I would love to, be able to have a test or something. If I could test my blood or something to see if I could measure the amount of THC molecules. My brother is giving me head bobs. It's in my blood. Maybe then I will have some information about it. I'm happy you think that's ideated. Cannabis, absolutely drove my metabolism. Yeah, for me too, actually, Toasty. And that's also one of the reasons I felt it's very much time for me to switch, because I felt like it was something I was leaning on. And it does, help you kind of kickstart your metabolism. And interestingly enough, Rena actually sent this 21-day guide. And in that guide, they actually go into how, cannabis does stimulate metabolism. But what happens is we smoke weed, and I'm literally saying we as in including myself. And I'm not trying to include you, Toasty, but just come here, dude, include you as well. Like, we don't only smoke weed, get the munchies, and then eat something. It becomes this, okay, I'm going to eat something. So before I eat this thing, I'm going to go and smoke weed quickly. And then it becomes this perpetual loop of you doing that over and over again, and then eventually it gets at the point where that's the only thing that drives your metabolism. Your body starts to be like, oh wait, this is just the way that it is. And I mean, in comparison to taking Adderall or, antidepressants or drinking alcohol or smoking cigarettes that technically suppresses appetite, I would rather have the weed, but I don't think it is just good for you, just healthy when it's used only in that way. I'm not trying to call you out at all, man, or of course not. I mean, I've been doing it myself, but changing it up, switching it up a little bit, and I like. So it's kind of like I'm calling myself out now a little bit, but one of the reasons I decided to fast is because I was actually mildly concerned about that possibility as well, of me having a hard time eating as a result of me stopping smoking. And then I was like, fasting is, good nonetheless. If you're going to be purging, detoxifying, you might as well go all the way. Sometimes I get so angry at Papa Boner. Thank you for your divine creations, the Batman. Like I was tolerated. I have an extended warranty one, but I don't know what to co-create with that comment, dude. Weed just makes me want to go outside. So I exercise a lot when I smoke. I also actually exercise quite a bit when I smoke. Like pull-ups hurt less when I'm smoking as well. And I also feel somehow like I'm more connected to my actual muscles. Like I know how to utilize them more efficiently. Sober dreams are always so wild. Like the dream was kind of odd. It was still wild. I actually got into a fight. It was more of a verbal fight. It wasn't a physical fight. But like I was like sitting at my desk, just minding my own business. And then this like dude came up to next to my desk and he was just like battering me with nonsense. And I like told him to stop. And he was battering me with nonsense. And I told him to stop. And like then I stood up to be intimidating. Like that was my intention in the dream. And as I stood up, I literally grew like heads above him, and I was looking down on him like he was this pipsqueak. And I was like, leave me alone. And then he was like, turned around, walked to his desk, sat down. And then I sat down again, and as I sat down, I shrinked back to normal size, if you will. It was quite surreal. I've dreamed, but not like a dream, if you know what I mean. It's just bits and pieces of dreams. I mean, I understand what you're saying, and I believe we all dream. Like it's kind of a part of our, brains. Like dreaming is very much a part of our brains and it's something essential. All animals dream, interestingly enough. And it's also something, so they did a study on rats where while they were trying to solve a maze, they were playing an oscillating click sound. Tick, 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 as they were trying to solve this maze. And then when those mice went to sleep, they had electrodes connected to their brains. They could find that tick-tick signal as it was represented in their waking state, hearing it from externally. They could find that same mental frequency, that tick-tick, within their brain in their sleeping state. And now get this. Drum roll, please. The ticks were 10 times faster. So they were solving those puzzles within their minds, and they were doing it so 10 times the speed of normal time. So they could run 10 times the simulations in their minds to solve that puzzle within a dream state, instead of just having to do it in a waking state. So in that way, I believe we all dream. I just don't believe we always have the access to those dreams. Like imagine if we remembered all of our dreams 10 times. Like we experience waking consciousness for like 14 hours a day, sometimes up to 16 hours a day, and then we sleep like 8 hours, right? So then we have these 16 hours of waking experience. Then we go to sleep for 8 hours, but if I think maybe we even tune up even higher or faster than mice would. So then let's take the mice number, 10 times the speed of normal time. Then you're experiencing 80 hours worth of dream time. 80 hours. And having to incorporate all of that information into waking consciousness, I just don't think would be very efficient. So it gets stored in our subconscious memory. And then when something arises that kind of expects us to utilize those neural pathways that we've already trained on a subconscious level, then it comes to fruition. Lucid dreams. I've had like 15 lucid dreams. Not quite a lot. Like a very minimal amount, but I'm not doing Sober October. And you puke and feel sick every time you smoke. It's some kind of syndrome. I don't know what it's called. Yeah, I know about that syndrome as well. It's actually something that's mentioned in the link, if you will, that Rina sent. Yeah, it is a syndrome, but basically it happens in chronic smokers, people that wake and bake and then smoke throughout the entire day until they go to sleep constantly for years. The concentration of THC in their body rises to the point where they become constantly nauseated and it becomes like a pain in their stomach. And I was like, oh, I'm hiking. It's hiking season again. I'm so excited, dude. I look forward to the photos that you'll be willing to send, dude. Enjoy those hikes, man. I've been going on mini hikes with my grandma. That sounds amazing, dude. On mini hikes. Yeah, I get it. Man, like I think I've only been on one hike with my grandma, like ever. It was a lot of fun though. Bro, the first time I talked to Jovan was when I took a bunch of lions. She was just a beacon of light shining on all levels of being while we were talking. It's always a pleasure hanging out with you all. You are beings of light. Thank you so much, Aiden. We love you, dude. We appreciate your presence eternally. Oh, Grandma's time is precious. It is, Toasty. It really, really is. And we can't expect it to be there forever as well. So it's so important for us to be completely present when we are. It's the best. Hello, Brew. We're the real Snoo. Hey, dude. How are you, friend? Thank you for joining us. Thad a Niner is here as well. He says, the results are finally in. Coming here is indeed the best way to start my day. Thad a Niner. Dude, don't flatter me, dude. Stop it. Thank you. Love to you, friend. I appreciate you sharing this space with us so much. I could car. I have such a hard time articulating under the influence of psychedelics. Words feel like slippery wet noodles falling off of a fork. So, like I'm imagining normally your mind as a spoon, and then as soon as you take psychedelics, it becomes fork. Just with the holes in it. And then you're trying to eat articulation soup. And as soon as you start taking the psychedelics, it kind of goes away. Like, interestingly enough, Toasty, on a significantly high enough dose of psychedelics, I regain the ability to articulate properly. If it's like kind of in the middle, if I'm like not, like maybe that's it actually, Toasty. Like I'm not sure about the dosages that you've taken, but that might be it as well, dude. Like when I go like threshold level, threshold level is like 50 mics on, well, 25 mics technically on LSD and like 0.2 0.3 grams of mushrooms. Like then I kind of have a hard time articulating. If it goes up to like 1 gram slash like 50 75 mics, then I feel like I have a foot in both worlds, and as a result of that I don't necessarily know how to articulate. And that actually happened a few days ago when I like had a microdose of mushies, and I was like having a little bit of a hard time getting my ideas out. But as soon as I get over that hump, if you will, then suddenly it feels like my mind expands, and then I have the ability to articulate properly again. So maybe that's it, Toasty. And I'm not going to encourage you to take any more. I love brain science. It's so fascinating. It absolutely blows my mind, dude. It's actually one of the things I'm very passionate about, to the point that it's actually a very big part of the book I'm writing right now, where it goes into different expressions of like neurochemicals, different expressions of our brains and how that influences our behavior. And just understanding neurochemicals, understanding what dopamine does, understanding what serotonin does, understanding what oxytocin does, understanding what cortisol does, understanding what norepinephrine does, or like it's kind of the same as dopamine, but it's technically adrenaline. Understanding what GABA does, understanding what... I'm missing one of them now. Not as important, I guess. Just understanding how these neurochemicals affect us and then being able to almost take a stance back and being like, I'm feeling these things. Why? Like where in these, like at least in my way, in my scrolls of information, can I kind of find why this is? Oh, look, it must be this. It helps sometimes. Yep, I physically felt that one. Oh. It's so beautiful. I would say the same thing for you, Jovan, because I know a little bit more about your dosages, if you will, than I do about Toasties. Like, I do know a bit about Toasties, but I don't know all about it. I know Toasty also, tries to tend a little bit more lightly than heavily, if you will. Really, every time I take them, I just want to talk to everyone and everything. That is my response as well. But that being said, I kind of started heavy. I was like, oh, 2 grams wasn't enough, I guess. Let's go 3 grams. Let's go 4 grams. Because that's how I experienced mushrooms. I had a 2-gram trip experience with friends that was kind of mediocre. I was watching Doctor Strange and it was an amazing movie. But the rest of it, like the interpersonal relations, while I was experiencing that, wasn't necessarily satisfactory, and I didn't get any visuals. And mushrooms gives you visuals. You're gonna see stuff. I was like, oh, that's what it needs to do. So I was like, oh, I guess the mushrooms didn't work the way they were supposed to. I did have this expanding of mind and articulating, and I feel like healing myself in a way where I was able to talk myself through things, if that makes any sense. So I was like, okay, guess I need to up the dosage. So I took, for my second time alone, a 3-gram trip. And then during that trip, I feel like I kind of healed my depression, but still no visuals, just, like literal thoughts flowing through me at a more rapid pace. So I was like, okay, guess it's not working. 4-gram trip. And again, I did that one alone. And I had mild, like at most mild visuals. Like I remember very thoroughly, I had this big whiteboard and I had this red marker and I was just making these concentric circles. And it was like my mind was both image retentioning some of the circles I was drawing while I was drawing more of them. So it was like this overlapping of the circles on top of one another while I was actually physically doing that. So, like, that was the most visuals I got. So I was like, I guess the mushrooms just don't work on me or something like that, I kind of told myself. And then I realized that I'm not supposed to have visuals. Like, not supposed to. I taught myself in the meanwhile, but, like, visuals isn't the only thing it's about. Like, technically, I wanted to experience again this understanding of the world as I perceived it to be. Mushrooms as I perceived it to be is what I was like looking for, what I was seeking. Instead of coming to the awareness of mushrooms, my experience, reality as it is. And as soon as I realized that, I also gained the ability to allow myself to have psychedelic visuals on those things. And the way I do that is to defocus my eyes and pretend like I'm looking from the center of my forehead. And then things are like, it's very interesting. Cannabis, Cannabis hyperemesis syndrome. Thank you so much, Sataniner. I'm here for a minute. Thank you for joining us, my friend. This is my kind of live stream. It's so nice to know you and to have you here for the first time, friend. I don't think I've seen you before. I'm guessing like Kira knows you and she's invited you. So I appreciate you being here. Thank you for approving as well. Kira says, friends, please welcome one of the most authentically wonderful friends that we can have, Roth. Thank you for letting me know about the name as well. We love you, Roth. Thank you for joining us. Genuinely. Maybe I need to dive deeper. Maybe, Toasty. I'm not going to say dive deeper, but, if it's something that calls to you, consider it. Definitely consider it. Like oh man. The weird thing I'm experiencing right now, and remembering rather, is the fact that I was still able to articulate even when I had my DMT experiences. it was very surreal. Like I felt so strange, but I was still able to articulate like perfectly what I was feeling and thinking. Like I remember actually, like with my second DMT experience, is when I actually realized how to give myself psychedelic visuals with the defocusing and then focusing on a different point within my mind as to look from that point. Like I kind of think of psychedelic visuals now as you get sensory information from here, you get sensory information from here, and then it gets, combined in your brain, and then you get the image. Where if you look from a center point, then suddenly it isn't information, it is the combination, if you will, that you're looking at. And that combination is what kind of creates the psychedelic effect. And it was hilarious because my friends knew that I don't get visuals. And I remember on my second DMT experience, I was looking at like overlapping tree branches, and I was doing this defocusing things. And I looked at it, and I looked at them, and I told them, I think I'm having visuals. And they're like, yeah, SDN's having visuals. It was like a literal celebration, man. It was beautiful. I'm scared. Dude, what are you scared of, bruh? The only thing there is to be scared of is you, Toasty. I know we can be scary, bruh, but I believe you can heal yourself as well, man. Roth is in the house. Hey, Fred. Thank you, Roth. I don't know if she's still here, but so much love to her. Yes, I love the neuroscience of the brain melt. I'm a psych major. Oh, goodness. That's amazing, my friend. Maybe you can teach me then, friend. Thank you so much, Dry, for letting us know that. Oh, Roth is still here. I feel like when I'm sober, I have to get over a hump to think clearly. But when I take psychedelics, I'm like, oh, let's go. For me, it's very much the same. Like, I'm fundamentally a visual thinker as well, Aiden. Like, I experience thoughts, like, at least ideas, I would rather say. I experience ideas as visual representations, where thoughts, what am I going to eat? That kind of starts as a thought, and then it starts to materialize as whatever it is I want to eat within inside of my mind. So when you take psychedelics, your brain is just like, oh, all of the information. Okay, guess now instead of having to, generate said visualization, you just have all of it, all of the time. So go now, have some fun. Hey Fred, so happy to be here. Gonna be on the road today. Please send some good thoughts. I don't know if that's necessarily helpful, but I imagined this long road, and then as the road got longer and longer, it started to make like this. But I'm not sure if that's going to be the safest way to drive. Maybe be so aware as if the road is doing this. Yes, that way I'm sure you'll drive safe, my friend. Safe travels to you. You are a light in my life, and I'm thrilled to see you here. Thank you, Kira, for inviting our friend. Best thought ever. Be safe, friend. Sending you peace and love for your travels. Thank you, friends, for sending your good intentions as well. That's it. I'm about to leave for work. I'm so happy I stopped by today. I hope everyone has had an amazing rest of the day. Thank you so much. Matthias, have a fantastic day at work, my friend. Love to you, dear friend. I gotta jump on a call with my lawyer. Yay, fostering adoption. Nervous as heck. And I love y'all. I love you. I'm sure it will go well, my friend. Thank you, Kira, for sharing your divine presence with us for as long as you did. So much luck and love to you, Kira. Thank you. It's been a long time since I tripped, but I totally get what you mean with letting yourself see it. Because there is this almost propensity to avoid it or shy away from it. And it was interesting, like with my most recent, like just before, like on the 30th of September, I had a very intense psychedelic experience. And my intention for that psychedelic experience is to align myself with what I need to know, what I need to do to take a whole month of Sober October. And it was also during that experience where I completely consolidated the understanding that I need to fast. And like I would literally set timers for a certain amount of minutes where I would actually close my eyes. because it was like literally as if I got almost lost in that state of being. And every single time my alarm went off, it was like I was reborn. I was like, I was like, what the fuck? Oh yeah. So yeah, like it is definitely something you have to let yourself see, let yourself feel. It can be very intimidating. I want to try dolphins someday with great reverence. If the universe provides, it will, Toasty. Hopefully, like, I mean, it feels kind of selfish, but I would love to be there with you if that has to ever happen. Visuals always hit me so hard. The world is always melting itself together, but it's always so layered, right? It's like both witnessing the layers and how they are interconnected. And then they're like, oh, just the melting, dude. I'm so happy that you completely get it as well. You will love it, my friend. I'm sure he will. I think as soon as Toasty experiences, the dolphins message as well, I think a lot of his fear around the other psychedelics, or like more specifically dosage with the psychedelics, will disappear as well. You better be drinking water. I am drinking water. Kino. Now I kind of want to drink, something else. Don't you dare tell me what I better or better not do. I love you, Kino. Thank you for joining us, friend. Good luck on the call. Love you, and I see you later. Thank you, Roth, for sending Kira love as well, my friend. Making dolphins isn't too bad. There is guides online. One day. Yeah, actually, very easy, Aiden. Like, it's easier to make dolphins, or rather extract dolphins from mimosa root than it is to, grow mushrooms, for example. So you just need do I want to share this information? You need something that basifies, lie. Then you need something that neutralizes. Then you need naphtha. You basically, what happens? Okay, so let me rather explain what you're doing instead of explaining the compounds necessary. You get bark root. It's like literal plant material. Then you add chemicals to that plant material that breaks down the lignin, like literally breaks down the woody material, if you will. And then as that breaks down, these little dolphin molecules escape the lignin. And then you're adding this naphtha, which is basically a flammable liquid to it. And, these flammable liquids, be it alcohol, be it propane, be it naphtha, are highly soluble. So they have a lot of space to take things in. Then you add that over it, you mix it around a bunch in a container, and then you pour that, liquid off. And then you add that little pan of liquid into a fridge, and then you have literal little dolphin crystals growing at the bottom of that plate, because it's so concentrated within that liquid that it starts to assemble, these little structures at the bottom of it. It looks like these little explosions, actually. That would be the way I would explain it. Very easy, actually. I mean, I don't know if I made it sound easy, but I I also have a kind of understanding of chemistry, so it's not difficult. It really isn't difficult. Like, I would go as far as to say anyone can do it. I'll DM you later, Fred. There we go. Yes, I could only do my best, Melt. I'm happy to try, though. I do have to get started on a psych paper that's due tonight, so I'm going to have to head out for today. Dude, run! Go, Dry. Thank you for sharing this space with us, my friend. We love you. Okay, that is a cactus out there where you can make mescaline from. Though I think if you don't do it right, it can be poisoning. I don't actually think so. It's called San Pedro. That's what the cactus is called. Technically, you just boil it. You boil it down to a liquid. You literally add the cactus into a boiling pot, and then you just boil that cactus until it disintegrates into the water, and then you drink that slush. But you have to drink a lot of it. That's the thing. You have to drink like this much, like a cactus piece this big, for a single experience. So it's, again, about the quantity that you have to consume. Peyote, that's the one as well. Peyote or San Pedro. puppies. Oh man, I would love. I would like. I wanted to say I would give a tooth or something, but no, I wouldn't actually. I would love to, receive a little puppy as a gift from someone. This means nothing, truly, but every time the knee slap accompanies the damn it, I smile. Of course it means something, Infamous One. That makes me so happy, my friend. Thank you for sharing that. I love you. Roth says, I came close to trying DMT once, but it must have been too soon. Still need that experience. I don't think it's something you need, my friend. Like, I feel it is something that very much calls to you. You know what's weird? Oh, man. And like, I'm saying it's weird, but I feel like it's perfectly obvious. I found out about dimethyltryptamine on my way to high school. Like, for the first time. Like, when I was 14, we were driving to high school for the very first time. And that's when I learned about dimethyltryptamine. It was the very first compound I ever learned about. I knew about weed, but I didn't know about anything else but DMT. And it was like, oh, it's this whitish, yellowish powder, and it creates insane psychedelic visuals. It is potentially the chemical that is released when you die. And I remember talking to my mom about it. I'm like, why would you want to smoke something that makes you think you're dead? Little did I know what I would experience over the next few years. So what I wanted to say by that, Roth, is the fact that I feel it's something that almost came into my consciousness very early, and then later in my conscious experience, it was something that arose. Like, I was literally with a group of friends. I heard that one of my friends got dimethyltryptamine, and we were going to smoke it Sunday. The entire Saturday, I abstained from food and not tobacco, weed, and then the Sunday we had that experience. And the way I experienced it the first time is we were 4 friends, and we were sitting cross-legged, and we were connecting our knees to each other's knees. So we were sitting in a very close and intimate circle. And then we took turns, each person, to tell every other person how much they love them, how much they appreciate them, what they appreciate about them. It was just this, like, love is true kind of confirmation. And then after that, I was the one that had to smoke first because Hestia doesn't get visuals, he'll be fine. And I remember this so thoroughly. Like, I had this small little one-hitter chillum that I loaded the DMT into. And like, I've been smoking weed for a long time at this point, and you understand how the sensation is. And I haven't smoked anything else, like I didn't even have that much experience with nicotine, but I've been smoking weed for so long. So as I was lighting this thing up and smoking it, like, my brain was initially like, oh, guess we're smoking something, has to be weed, I guess. And I took the first puff, nothing. Took the second puff, instantly realized this is not weed. That was like my first, oh shit, this is not weed. And then took the third puff, and then just flying through interdimensional realities. And I was like, oh, okay, okay, It was both the most beautiful and terrifying experience of my entire life. And after that experience, it was like I was holding on as a child to this idea of atheism, and it was like, I don't want to play with you anymore. The good old Toy Story reference. It was really like that. I was like, oh, okay, no. Unfortunately, that idea no longer has any traction. It was like all of the neural pathways I had that made me believe in atheism, made me believe I was just a meat sack, and then when this meat sack dies, that's, done. I was like, oh, hell no. Oh, not even close. And it was absolutely wonderful. All this talk about dolphins makes me giddy. I want to play with them so bad. Oh, Aiden. Oh, Aiden, I look forward to you having that experience as well, my friend. I would love to talk to you about it. I've looked the whole process up. I have most of the things I need. I just need a place to do it all. I can't do it in my parents' kitchen. Yeah, fortunately, might be a little bit of a yikes. I mean, I know a way for you to do it in your parents' kitchen if you really want to. Technically, you can use mimosa bark as a dye agent. You can like literally dye clothes with it. So you can just tune your parents you're making some tie-dye. I mean, I shouldn't be encouraging you, but I want to encourage you. Oh, Roth says, all right, it's time to get on the road. I will definitely be stopping in to listen to the stream again, though. Thank you for sharing, Roth. Thank you for sharing your presence and your experience with us as well. It was so nice having you here. Guess we are smoking. Oh, shit. Yeah. It was very much like, oh, okay, no, this is not what I anticipated. I offer my kitchen as tribute. Thank you, baked potato. Oh, Lisa, I appreciate you so much. Friends, I am going to end the stream here. Again, thank you so much for joining me, for sharing the space with me, for just having the most blessed of conversations with me. I look forward to seeing all of you again tomorrow. Love you, friends.